Professor John Preston, if I'm not mistaken. His website is in C12, like Charlie 12. And he's a professor at Massachusetts Institute of Technology. The first thing he told me when I came to see him is that these scientists, these professors, they think they're in Disneyland, especially where they're in the lab. What do you mean, Professor? Well, their results only are results when it can come to the market. Yes. So, how is that? Well, I can do it. That's why Massachusetts Institute of Technology, this is what he says, is the best university research in the world. What happened? Since he was there, I think he was there for 10 years, he managed to successfully create a company out of the creations of his students, what his students did at the lab, and bring it to the market. Well, anybody can do that, he says. But what I did is make it listed in the stock exchange. And he says the market cap at that time was $140 billion. I was stopped, and mind you, when I do that, my calculation, I go went like this. Oh my God, this guy's rich, because he helped putting the technology into a company, make money, and goes to the market. 140 billion. At that time, 140 billions is the equal size of Jakarta Stock Exchange. The equal size of Jakarta Stock Exchange. And if you invest in Jakarta Stock Exchange today, since 2008, it went, if you put in Japanese Stock Exchange, you probably got a gain around 8%. If you go to Dow, you got a gain about 3%, maybe a little more now because the market has been going very well. If you go into Jakarta Stock Exchange, it went 300%, threefold, actually. So this is one of the most lucrative market. So what I'm trying to say, this is what he found. He says he discovered, I don't know if you know the fish and frog process, Professor. This is the gasifications of coal, which Indonesia has a lot and needs to do it. The fish and frog process is using steam, if I'm not mistaken. So it costs a lot of money, and this is a gigantic process to do it. A young professor, I think about 37, found a way, the same instances using steel. And the cost from 4 billion for fish and frogs process only been famous in South Africa. Right now, it can be done with $28 million each piece. And that will be equal to around $100 million compared to 4 billion in South Africa. Is Indonesia buying it? We are buying it. We want to do it. Second part, why it has to be market-oriented. A big company in Japan introduced an LNG process. As we speak right now, in Sulawesi, I don't want to name places, in Sulawesi, for 2 million tons of LNG costs $1.8 billion US. So I go look at my young officers at the office, send them across the globe to find a comparison technology. Went to a city, small city, Lafayette, Louisiana, in southern part of the United States, and found a same technology. Okay, this is not the same process, but at the end of the day, it becomes an LNG. You know what LNG? Well, coming from me, LNG looks like a rocket science to me. I have no idea. But I went there and saw LNG is like a fridge. The result is ice cube, basically. So the ice cube can come from Japan Toshiba, can come from Korean Samsung, can come from American Frigidaire, or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's ice cube. Maybe the ice cube different compared one to the other, But this one I found cost $690 million in stock. Compared to the Japanese one, 1.8 billion. That is market. I don't care how they do it. I don't care how they found it. As long as at the end of the day and the availability factor of that machine is good, we purchase it. So that, Abdullah, is market orientations. We're not at Disneyland. That is what I call a best practice in the world. And for those scientists that did that, they become a rich man. I saw this one guy that developed a battery. This is from the same professor. A battery that they said that this battery can last, what, 2 billion years or 200 years or something like that. Drive a car costs $1.5 million. And I want you to be one of them. How? You have to create something not to be happy in your heart, but to be accepted in the market. That's what needs to be done. That's the incentive. And you are just like anybody else. I used to be a businessman. What do? If I do trade well, I get paid at the end of the month. If I don't, I go suffer at the end of the month. You know, my wife would look at me funny. And I go like, where's the dough? Same with you. Where's the money? Show me the money. That's why I said this is one important part. Science is science, but show me the dough. Show me the money. It's a sobering thought, but this is true. All right. I want to have the Ilham also with electricity to answer. Electricity is very important to us, you know, and the gas in Sulawesi, what happened is, it's very expensive. Going out the gas character in Sulawesi, big, you know, they found 3 million TUs at Sengkang, around 300 kilometers from the city of Makassar. 200 kilometers from there, they found in Sunarodongi another 3 million TUs actually availability. So actually they can be done. But the problem right now, it costs $6 a ton to produce in Sulawesi. So with that number, arrive in Tokyo will come to around $12 or $13. The price market right now around $4 spot price at this as we speak. Therefore, it's not there yet, but it will be. It will be, you know. And we need a breakthrough foundation from somebody like you, somebody like professors here, in order to make this process a little cheaper. Seems like geothermal. Geothermal is also something that probably we have to rely on. Geothermal is untradable energy that we need to do and we need to discover, and we need to find how to lift this energy from our earth very cheaply. How do we do that? If you ask me, I'm too old. I look at the Japanese language, I go like, oh, too difficult, I don't want to learn. I can't. But from you and from the guidance from the professors, we need to find out. And I think the service industry usually is a process of evolutions. They come from basic industries, then they go to textile. Textiles goes to electronics, and electronics, after a while, they're going to go to services. And you can see, you can look at the British economy, you can look at the US economy, you can look at the Japanese economy, the transitions, all these things. And Indonesia right now, at the bottom of the pyramids. They need good scientists. They need good scientists, not from Indonesia, but from the rest of the world. To find incentive, to be rich, to be very, to survive as happy, and also to find what needs to be done for world peace and world prosperity.